But what did he and his party do? Did they support those extra measures to actually slash the gang? No, they went in the lobby with this lot in their new coalition to vote against them.
Tense exchange. Starmer and Nigel Farage clash during PMQs. All right, buckle up for this one. Because what just happened in Parliament right there in the middle of Prime Minister's questions had MPs shifting in their seats, reporters scrambling for angles, and social media exploding in real time. You're not going to believe how fast things went from routine to tense to everyone whispering after the session ended. And the craziest part? Most people didn't even see it coming. While the country was busy arguing about taxes, immigration, and the economy, a confrontation was brewing in the chamber. One that finally erupted the moment Nigel Farage stepped in with a challenge aimed directly at Keir Starmer. And Starmer, calm, composed, usually predictable, suddenly snapped into a whole different mode. Let's break down exactly what happened. It was supposed to be a straightforward session. You know how PMQs goes: short questions, quick jabs, carefully rehearsed responses. But the atmosphere was already tense the moment Nigel Farage stood up. He had that look, the "I'm about to start something" look that anyone who's followed UK politics knows too well. He began with a pointed question about leadership, accountability, and whether Starmer's recent decisions aligned with statements he made earlier in the year. A fair question on the surface, but the tone? Farage was clearly pressing him, pushing for a reaction. And Starmer gave him one. Instead of giving his usual measured answer, Starmer fired back with a frustration that caught even his own MPs off guard. He leaned forward, voice tightening, and said something along the lines of, "If he wants to lecture me on leadership, he should first explain his own inconsistencies." That line hit. You could actually hear a wave ripple across the benches. Then it escalated. Farage responded with a sharp comment about political direction and public trust. Starmer interrupted, rare enough as it is, and the speaker had to step in, calling for order as MPs on both sides burst into noise. Within seconds, the chamber wasn't debating policy anymore. It was reacting to the clash. People who were inside the chamber said the temperature changed instantly. One MP was overheard saying, "You could feel it shift." No one expected Starmer to get that fired up. A journalist from a major political outlet posted, "This was one of the most intense exchanges between Starmer and Farage at PMQs so far. Both sides look rattled." And then the public reactions poured in. On Twitter, someone wrote, "Starmer lost his cool today. You can tell Farage got under his skin." Another person posted the opposite. Finally, Starmer shows some fire. Farage pushes, and he pushed back. This clash didn't just divide opinions, it energized them. It was the kind of moment that turns into clips, edits, commentary videos, and endless debates online. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. You might be wondering, why did this specific exchange blow up more than usual? Because Starmer and Farage represent two completely different political worlds, and when those worlds collide, people pay attention. Farage taps into raw energy, frustration, populist emotion. Starmer leans into stability, calmness, predictability. So when Starmer steps out of that calm, measured persona, it feels like something significant just happened. A political analyst on a BBC radio panel said, "This wasn't about the policy. It was about posture. It showed how thin the margins are right now." And they're right. The UK is in a politically charged moment: cost of living pressures, public distrust in government, immigration debates, NHS concerns, and a general sense that leadership is being tested every single day. So when two major figures clash publicly, it becomes a symbol of something bigger. It becomes about frustration on both sides. It becomes about the direction of the country. It becomes about who's willing to stand their ground, and who might be losing theirs. According to a source close to Labour's communications team, the moment was unplanned and not ideal. This insider reportedly said, "We want Starmer to look authoritative, not irritated. This isn't the timing we wanted." Meanwhile, someone close to Reform UK told an online political page, "Farage knows exactly what he's doing. Getting under Starmer's skin is part of the strategy." And that's what makes the entire moment even more fascinating. It wasn't just a spontaneous tension flare-up. It was two political strategies colliding: Starmer trying to project steady leadership, and Farage trying to expose pressure cracks. Whether either of them succeeded is now the center of the debate. Normally, PMQs comes and goes. But right now, these exchanges are shaping the public mood more than people realize. With elections approaching and the political landscape shifting more unpredictably than ever, every moment like this becomes a test. A test of composure, a test of confidence, a test of narrative control. Starmer needs to prove leadership strength to voters who feel uncertain about Labour's future direction. Farage needs to show he can challenge the establishment and force accountability. So when their paths cross in a heated moment, it becomes a headline that both sides will push in their own favor. And make no mistake, both sides are pushing. So here's where things stand. The clash happened. The reactions are still rolling in. Clips are circulating everywhere. Political commentators are analyzing every expression, every pause, every retort. Starmer's team might try to downplay it. Farage's team will almost certainly amplify it. But the real question, the one that will determine the fallout, is this. Was this just a heated moment, or the beginning of a deeper political rivalry that will dominate the months ahead? And more importantly, if this happened in just one PMQ session, how intense will it get when the stakes get even higher? Because in British politics, the words said in the heat of the moment don't just disappear. They echo, they build, and sometimes they shape the entire political storm that follows. Stay tuned, this one isn't over.